Apex Predator, the highest, hardest, and most sought after rank or badge in the entire game. Only 750 of the millions of people that play the game get it every season. And only one player has achieved Apex Predator every single time. Every BR split, every arena split, all of them. In doing so, he's become the first player ever to have 50 Pred badges. So let's go meet him, have a look at his gameplay, get his biggest tips and tricks to rank up, ask him why he grinds Pred so hard, look at his insane stats, his weird controller settings, and even find out how he owns about 7 world records in Apex. Let's do it.
I ain't slept in months, y'all. I so red I can't see what's real. Roll me up a blunt, dog.
Who is this #1 Apex Predator, the only person with every Pred badge in the entire game? Well, it's HonoredFlyr. In total, he's got 50 Pred badges. All the arena ones, all the BR ones, all the animated ones, everything. On top of having all these Pred badges, and obviously the world record for most Pred badges, he also has and currently holds a ridiculous amount of other world records as well. He held the world record for the fastest solo 20 bomb ever in Apex for over 2 years. He still holds the world record for the highest ever win streak in arenas at 403. He was the #1 crypto in season 3 for wins, the #1 Ash in season 13. He opened the #1 Apex Predator in arenas in season 10 and #1 Apex Predator in BR of season 13. And finally, I'm not sure if he still holds this world record, but he at least did hold the world record for most ever solo kills in a game as Catalyst. Now, let's go talk to him about everything Apex, everything ranked, and get his biggest tips and tricks for, well, ranking up. Obviously, you have every Pred badge. What was the hardest season ever to hold Pred and why?
Yeah, that'll be season 17 for sure. And that's because the Pred cap was super high. Like it was like, I started grinding pub season 17 to try to be #1 ballistic and get Pred on the side like usual. And then rank just like the cap just skyrocketed. Like it was going up by like 1,000 a day. Like it was ridiculous. But you weren't getting that many for wins. It's like 200 for wins. So I would say definitely season 17 just because of playtime. Like I had to be on playing every single day, like minimum of 5 hours just to hold Pred. I mean, the lobbies weren't sweaty. Granted, they were pretty easy.
Was season 17 the season where there was the issue with getting bonus RP as well?
Yeah, it was. Everyone just like, you just got your points for the win. Kills didn't count, and then randomly some people got a skill bonus, I think it was called, or something like that. It was like plus 11 or something. It was actually so stupid. It got to a point where you're literally better off sitting in a corner and just getting placement than actually playing the game, because you would get the same points either way. Like it just didn't even matter. And that's when everyone started to rad and zone heal and all that stuff, and it just went crazy.
I remember in season 17 there was a guy that got Pred with 0 kills at the end, even though the RP cap was so high. Because he literally just sat in trees and watched Netflix. That's all he did.
And then, honestly, second, I would say season 8, because that's when they like reworked ranks completely, and that's when Masters versed Preds instead of like D4s in the same lobbies as.
Alright, well, looking at all the systems, what system do you think was the best system in Apex? Like, what time was the best for ranked?
Okay, I would say season 13 for sure. Dude, season 13 is when they reworked ranked again. It was so perfect. I think it was, dude, to this day, and I feel like a lot of people would agree with me, season 13 was the best. I mean, Pred's always playtime, right? But that season, it wasn't just playtime. It was actually like playing the game and like getting a lot, because Pred cap was super low. It was super low on like pretty much all platforms. Like it was actually difficult to gain. And the higher Pred you were, like the more minus you got, up until like 225, I think is where it capped, or like around there. So like to be #1 and stuff, like you had to be really good to get it. You can't just like just farm top 5s. Like dude, wait, I think that was this where if you got a win, you were still in minus if you didn't have enough KP. It would definitely be that, because it was actually difficult to gain. And the matchmaking was also like not like this season where you get a lot of plats, and it was definitely more competitive. Almost an end game every single.
What's been your favorite and most hated legend meta across the years?
Bang. I would say the Bang went up for sure. And everyone started to play Bang because of the people started to discover the aim assist thing. I would say that season, because dude, it was so annoying to fight Bangs. I mean, it was smoke everywhere.
I agree, Bang meta was bad. I mean, for a few reasons. Visual clutter, it was really bad to play when you couldn't see anything. There was just smoke absolutely everywhere. And also for like a spectator POV from like comp play and stuff, it was awful to watch. I'm not sure if it was my most hated ever though. What about the like Seer meta?
Yeah, but he didn't last long.
Okay, what about Reptane all the way back in the day? Reptane was pretty bad.
Season 4 Reptane? Oh dude.
Yep.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But I would say Bang when it was worse. Because to be fair, that season you just had to send them back, and I'm pretty sure there was less like speaking for console players, there was less aim assist on the shadow forms, but I mean, all you had to do is just send them back, and then they had to heal. They can't really come back for like full HP, but
Fair enough, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I hated it. It was probably my most hated. They had basically a free shot at getting RP, and the jump had no audio for so long. Now, which meta was your favorite though?
most of it's this season. Like, and I'm not even running triple support. Sometimes double support, but it's kind of fun playing support. I love the shields too. Like I never carry bats or mech kits ever. I only carry 2 bats when I'm on red. Like I love the healing efficiency, the reset efficiency. I really like this season. Honestly, I would say this is my favorite one, apart from maybe season, I think 14, where Stormpoint had like the PvE stuff to get loot. Those were always so much fun.
What about weapon wise? What's been like your favorite like weapon meta and like I guess least favorite weapon meta?
My favorite one was when the R9 was good. Oh, dude, you could just rock double R9. You would have mid-range, close range, like it was great. And nobody used shotguns either. Like Massive was considered a throw pick. PK was like nobody could hit their shots, and nobody used wingman. So it was kind of like an SMG meta. For the most disliked, it definitely. Do I have the most disliked? I don't remember playing Apex at a time where like I didn't like the gun meta. I mean, okay, watching everyone just use the R3 was kind of boring. Like it was just the best pick in the game, especially when like the hipfire was so good. Like everyone rocked the R3. Like that was a little bit boring, but I didn't hate it.
I love looking back at old Apex and seeing how much things have changed. But this season, what about right now? What's the best legend comp for ranked? Is it, triple support? Is it double support in like a Pathfinder, or what are your thoughts? Quickly though, before he tells you the best team comps for this season and then goes into his biggest tips and tricks for rank, telling you guys the best ways to gain RP, let's have a look at his stats. Obviously, because, well, he has all the pred badges, he has a lot of pred badges on his banner, he has almost 140,000 kills in total, 32,000 of those on the R99, which makes sense, as you heard, because he loves that weapon. 5,000 on the RE45, which may seem like a lot, but he got that when he was a ballistic main and he loved putting it in ballistic sling. Overall, he has 38,000 games played, 8,000 wins. That's a lot of wins. Overall KD of 4.2, an average damage of 900, which is pretty good stats if you ask me. 33 is his highest kills ever. He has a 14 longest win streak, which is nothing compared to his 400 plus in arenas. Now, this season, he has 666 games played, kinda evil, 143 wins, which is a pretty good ratio, honestly. 600k damage with a 950 ADR, all in pred ranked games, by the way. These are his ranked stats. 2,000 kills, almost a 3 KD, which is really good. Number 39 pred as well. That's amazing. This season, what about right now? What's the best legend comp for ranked? Is it, triple support? Is it double support in like a Pathfinder, or what are your thoughts?
Triple support is definitely broken, but I wouldn't say it's that good because like you don't really have the rotation. Like you have shields. Dude, if you have Newcastle Gibby, you will literally never run out of shield. If you just cycle him right, you don't even need a gold helmet. You never have to worry about having a shield. You always have a shield, which you kind of rotate with, but I would say double support and the Pathfinder is honestly the best. Like I would say Newcastle and like a Gibby or a Lifeline or Newcastle Condor. Let's definitely have Newcastle in there and then another support, and then just Pathfinder for the rotates. I mean, I think it's great, but it does depend, on your team and like how you like playing the game. I think if you're truly good enough, I think it doesn't matter. Like in the beginning of the split, I didn't even run triple support. We ran one support and like we were completely fine. I would say double support and like a rotational character or path is probably the best you can get right now.
I completely agree. And weapon-wise, what do you think are the best weapons this season?
Yeah, this is actually pretty healthy in what you can use. Like I feel like most weapons are good, except for Mozam's pretty bad. P20 only with hammers is good. I think R3's pretty good. Like it's just basic. It's easy to control. It's got all the range. If you're using an SMG this season, like I don't know, like not really involved. Like no one uses an SMG because when like when you get to like, dude, I love the Volt. I would love to use a Volt. But when you everyone's got support. There's shields everywhere. When you get to a shield fight and you're stuck without a shotgun, you're most likely gonna lose it. Like shotguns are really powerful right now. And out of everyone that I've played with, everyone picks the Mastiff. Like over the PK, everyone. I mean, PK does good damage, but like Mastiff is just so good. Although Mastiff without a bolt is probably the worst gun in the game. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I agree. I hate it without a bolt so much. I agree.
Dude, it's you're like spamming the button. Like, come on, shoot. It's like your timing's off because muscle memory. I know. I would say Mastiff is the most powerful right now. Like I would say Mastiff, and then for your primary, just really whatever. Like L-Star is really good. If you know how to control the L-Star, it's probably better than the R3. But finding ammo can get difficult late game.
Okay, well, this is kind of a big question. What are your, biggest tips and tricks for people playing ranked? If they want to gain RP and rank up, what are your biggest tips and tricks for that?
Tips and tricks. I knew this would happen. The tips are just so hard to give because it's too specific. Like I would have to write an essay on everything. Generally, to climb up in ranked, get good. No, but they just people just get caught out a lot. Like use your environment. Don't try to get caught in the open. If you know there's a guy somewhere, never assume someone. Even if they are, never assume someone's terrible. Like that you're just not gonna play it right. So I would just say like don't assume everyone's terrible. Like still play it. Play it like how you would play it if they were good, but just play your environment. Don't get caught in the open. And if you really want to rank up in ranked, also teammates is very important. If you solo queue, I would say mostly play placement. Those top fives are gonna help you a lot. Like, dude, there's a guy on Twitter, bro, who got masters with 0 damage, just top fives, like legit 0 damage. Like it's possible. Your top fives give so much. I mean, 40 points. That's almost like 4 extra KP, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you go from like 100 to 140, like it's gonna be a lot. So I would say if you're solo queuing, duo queuing, and you don't really play with a lot of teams, definitely try to play placement, get those top fives. If you do have teammates to run with and you're trying to rank up, play for KP, but also acknowledge zone. A lot of people would push stuff without like really thinking about it, like kind of like a brain dead push. Like the amount of times I got pushed in Storm and that team died, or like the amount of times we got pushed and then we got better placement because they died for the push because it was a kind of a stupid push. Yeah, I would just say play your environment, and if you really want to rank up, just farm top fives way. And if you should just stay alive, lol.
Just casually to stay alive, yeah. Just be the last person alive and win the game.
Honestly, this season, learn how to bubble fight and like fight with shotguns and shields.
Honored was put on the spot a little bit with these tips, and he wanted to give you guys some better ones, so he sent me these after. And he broke them down into a bunch of different categories, from your aggressive players to your passive players to your ratting players, giving tips for all you guys. But these were his overall rank tips. Play based on your team's capabilities, and that's not just limited to the legends you're playing, but the skill level of the people you're playing with. If you're playing with their mates and they're not very good, you might have to play more passive. But if they're really good fraggers and mechanically, you can play super aggressive. As Honored said here, if you're solo queuing, look at what legend your teammate picks and then try and pick a legend that suits their team style and combos well with them. Plus communication, talk to your teammates when solo queuing as much as you can. Next up, he says always try to set up or position yourself on high ground because, well, obviously position. It's the most important factor in Apex. Even if a team has more gun skill than you, if they're on lower ground and you have high ground, you still have the advantage. Don't get KP hungry. And this is one a lot of people, myself included, need to hear. You don't always have to just fight and push every fight. If you want to gain RP, lasting to endgame, getting that top 5 bonus and just the RP bonus from being alive longer is so much more important. Plus, if you make it to the endgame, you're most likely going to get KP there as well. This one ties into the 2 we just spoke about. Don't give up high ground when you don't have to, especially never in late game. Play for the wins. Position. High ground and positioning is so important. Always keep the high ground. When positioning yourself in a high ground or a good place to fight from, always make sure that it has good and easy rotates to where the next zone may be going. Whether you have that with Beacon or whether you don't, always make sure that you have good rotates or you have a balloon so that you can rotate as well. And his last overall tip is super important as well. Before you rotate or move to a new spot, make sure there's good cover and line of sight before you do so, as you don't want to get beamed in the open. Next up, he gave some tips for the aggressive players. The longer the fight takes, the higher the third-party chances. If you feel like you've been fighting for a while with no result, then it's best to back off, as you're not gaining anything apart from maybe a little bit of armor damage, and you're putting yourself at risk to get 3-2-1'd in the back. And as Honored says here, sometimes even the third party that does show up will fight the team you were originally fighting, and then you can third party them, or I guess fourth party them. Validating knocks. This one is super important, especially in the current meta. Close the gaps on the teams you're fighting so that you can validate the knocks, aka thirst the people that you have knocked. And the best way to do this, at least in my experience, is grenades. Grenades, especially with so many shields and reses, etc. Carry grenades and throw grenades on knocks so it stops people from resing them or gets the thirst itself. This one might seem simple, but it's important. When going into a fight, think, is this fight smart? Are you most likely to get third party based on where teams, landed, or where teams will be rotating to get to the final circle? Do you really need the KP? Think about it and then decide whether you want to fight it after that. Lobers, lifelines, this one's for you. Prioritize your life over looting. Don't stay in the one spot looting for ages or risk getting shot more to get an extra little bit of loot. When you go into a box, grab the mag upgrade, the armor swap, a little bit of ammo and the batteries, and dip. Going from a white to a blue mag isn't going to make a massive difference, and if it's risking your life, it's definitely not worth it. This one ties back into what we spoke about earlier and, not staying in one spot for too long, but know when it's time to back off. If you're fighting a team and it's a big stalemate and it's likely to get third partied or it's going to put you in a bad spot for zone, staying here and doing it, then just leave and go do something more productive. Rotate, get into a better spot for the end game so you can gain more RP. Honored has this one under the aggressors or for the aggressive players, but I think this goes to everyone no matter whether you're playing passive or aggressive. If you are about to fight, play with your team. It's better to commit fully to a fight than to half commit. Sure, you can, run away and craft your banners and whatnot, but you're basically never going to win the fight if only 2 of your team hard commit into a fight and you sit on the outside not doing much, not really helping. Because they basically have to win a 2v3, which is not going to be easy against players of a similar or better skill than yourself. I personally think of it like this. It's better to die with your team and then, work out what you did wrong and why the fight didn't go well, than to let your teammates die and then run away. You will gain more and learn more from that as a team. Now he has some tips for the more passive players, or the rats as he called it, aka ratting. First up, be stealthy and hard focus on placement. If you're not the most confident in, your fighting ability, rotate. Know where the zone's gonna go and position yourself in a good spot with maybe a defensive legend or 2 so that you can easily hold it and show presence. By showing presence, you'll most likely make other teams not want to push you and they'll go fight someone else instead, and you can survive for longer. Or you can even do the opposite where you full rat and then, kill a team that walks past, but don't do that. That's very yucky. Don't do that. And as he says here as well, there are websites where you can work out and know where zone pools are going to go. Also ones for, actual rat spots as well if you want to be that person. This kind of plays into what I just said, but he says find a good spot mid-zone or rat far edge. Don't do something else. You're either going to go and rotate hard into the center of zone where you think it's going to end so you have a good place for endgame, or you're going to play on the outside of the circle and rat and play very passive. When playing the far edge or ratting around other teams, be very smart of when you move. Move when there's fighting that's happening so that you can use their gunshots or grenades, ability usage as cover so that they don't hear you moving. And they're, preoccupied with something else. If you're being a full rat and you're not confident in your gunplay, have extremely good trigger discipline. There are definitely going to be times where you can shoot someone in the back, but make sure you can kill the full team or the solo before you do so. Otherwise, you're just throwing your life away for no reason. When you're hard ratting, don't forget that healing and reloading is very, very loud. So only do that if you're sure there's no one around you. Otherwise, it's not really that important to do so. Learn zones/player control legends so that you can obviously scan the beacon and know where zones are going to go so that you can go into zone and set up better, or, plan out your rotates for how you're going to get there later in the game. Honestly, they were some really good tips. Big thanks to Honored for that. Now, back to more questions. Okay, well, here's a really interesting one. You don't have to go into too much depth with this, but these are 4 of the most important aspects of Apex: decision making, movement, aim, and positioning. Obviously, they're all important within their own right, but if you had to rank them, which one do you think is the most important and which one is the least important?
I would say positioning, then aim for sure. People who have aimbot and, they're terrible players, but they just have aimbot. So if you have really good aim, you get away with some dumb decisions. Aim, then decision making, and then movement last for sure.
I think I agree with that. I agree with that definitely. Definitely positioning first and definitely movement last. I think aim and decision making could kind of swap depending on the person. But I agree otherwise. Yeah, definitely positioning is the most important aspect of just Apex and ranked in general.
100%. I mean, bro, there are some endgames that are just broken. Dude, I have screenshots of an endgame where we literally just won because we're on a high ground that's impossible to push and zone ends up there. And you just we emoted the whole time and just won. You can't do anything.
Okay, looking back in the whole time you played Apex, can you think of any crazy or funny or stupid or silly glitches or anything?
Yeah. Dude, the most fun glitch, dude, I still remember the clips to this day. The most fun glitch I think I've ever had fun with was the one where you could glitch into supply bins. Dude, that
you could
so
hide in them?
fun.
Yeah, you'd get the trident next to you to push you in, and then you could hide inside them. I remember that.
Wait, there was a trident one? I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah, there was a trident one where you would crouch next to it, and then someone in the trident would hit you, and you get pushed inside the bin, and then when someone opens it, you'd just be chilling inside it.
No way, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah.
Dude, hiding bin was so good. I know the one where you spam ping, you climb the side and then you spam pings. And then you it bumps you down into it. It was so much fun, dude. I remember hiding in a closed pill, in round 4, and some guy just opened it, and they were just hello. It was so much fun. I had the most fun with that. Honestly, I'm never gonna forget me and my whole team. I mean, it sounds scummy, but it's so funny. Me and my whole team were triple riding inside a closed bin, and someone just opened it, just surprise. Dude, it was awesome. That's the most fun. That's the most fun glitch I've done in Apex. I would say the second glitch, and this is a pretty controversial glitch, but there was a time somewhere where you were able to glitch down a lobby. Pred lobbies are pred lobbies, you get some preds there, some diamonds, but there was a glitch that allowed you to sometimes be in platinum lobbies. Dude, that was a time in Apex. One more, it's a terrible thing and everything, right? All that, but it's the invisible glitch. I mean, I gotta say, I hopped on a Smurf, and okay, it wasn't a plat lobby to make it fair, and I went on, and I was on a and we let the last team win, so it was just for fun. But we did the invisible glitch, and it was
The invisible glitch was so troll.
it was so like, dude, you could push someone and they were freaking out, shooting everywhere, and they're all that, dude. It was so, like, on the receiving end, it was terrible, and I hated it. And I remember running into in a rank so much, but dude, doing it was so much fun. I had loads of fun with it.
When playing ranked, obviously this depends on the person that's playing and the squad they are, but do you think overall it's best to play aggressive or passive?
I think this season it literally depends on the lobby that you get. I think the fact that they added like a rank meter so you can see who's in the lobby, I think determines everything. If you see, like, okay, let's pred. If you see a lot of preds in the lobby, then play it more passive because you know you're gonna get thirded more, and some more players are sweaty. So I would say play it more for placement. It depends on the rank meter, but okay, let's say you're just trying to rank up like regularly. I would say it depends on your team's skill. If your team is really good, no matter what, you just play aggressively because that's how you get the most points. That's honestly, personally for me, that's the most enjoyable Apex can be. But if not, you're just solo queuing, or you're just vibing out, you're trying to rank up, you're like in plow, whatever. I would say play more positioning, and also end games are kind of fun. Like once you get to an end game, it does get kind of fun. It gets kind of calm. It gets kind of fun. So I would just say it depends. It depends on your team. I would say the overall best playstyle in the game is being aggressive for ranked.
I mean, obviously it does depend on your skill level as well, and like, obviously that changes when you go up and down ranks because, you know, you're more suited to a certain rank, and if you're slightly above where you're suited to, you need to play more passive because people are better than you, etc. But I agree, in general, as long as you're playing against people the same skill level or less, definitely be aggressive. Okay, well, questions that are more based around you. Why did you originally get into Apex? How did you originally get into it?
A friend told me to try it, actually. Just one of my random. I was playing Destiny at the time, and I was doing raids and all that, just chilling. And one of my friends said, "Battle Royale game. Like, have you played Fortnite?" Yeah, of course, I play Fortnite. Fortnite. And then he said, "Oh, there's a Battle Royale game. You should try it." And I don't really like trying new games because I get stuck on them. I grind them. Like, I can't stop until I finish it, get everything. And so I was like, okay, sure. Like, they kind of, in a way, they pre-pressure me into getting it. And then, dude, once I played one game, I was like, okay, dude, Destiny, I could say goodbye. It's the same thing every week anyway. And then I fell in love with Apex, but I didn't really play that much pre-season. It was just kind of here and there. I mainly played Destiny. And then I really liked it. I really started to fall in love with the game, and I started doing LFG. And then really, when I started to really grind the game, because I didn't even think about leaderboard grinding or getting or anything, it was season 2. It's when I met from LFG. I met like a couple of #1 for kills on their characters, like on Xbox. And I thought that was so cool, being like, oh, #1 for something in a video game. And I was like, yeah, I gotta do that. So that's when I started to really grind, and then just passion just kept going. And then season 12, I found out I'm the only get pred in both game modes, arena and BR, and then I just kept that up ever since. Although I'm not sure for how long.
That was my next question I was going to ask. What was the reasoning to have all the pred badges, and do you plan on continuing it for how long, basically?
It's kind of like a perfectionist thing where it's like, I wanted to have everything in the game. I got all 4K 20 rounds for every character in season 2, and at that point you're kind of completed the game. Right, like there was no ranked in season 1. There was none of that. So it's like, oh, what am I gonna do? What else is there to grind for? There was nothing to grind for, and most people were bad at the game, so there was no competition either. Then rank came around season 10. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get pred. That's the highest rank. That's the best badge you can get at the moment. I gotta get that. And then after that, it was just getting pred. That was the only thing to really grind for. I love playing Apex, but I needed something to grind, and that was the grind that kept on growing. It's just the pred grind. And then eventually I was like, yeah, wow, this has been a long time. Do I really want to do this? And I was like, no, but I'm the only person, so sure, like, I'll keep going.
I mean, it's about to get harder as well, though, because apparently arenas are coming back, maybe, and they might bring ranked arenas back as well, which means you then have to get more pred badges.
Arena, to be fair though, when Arena VR was out, it wasn't that much playtime to get it. Okay, I'm lucky to be on Xbox because
it was
like
lower.
On Switch anyway.
Yeah.
It was, the pred cap's always lower on Xbox. Like, you always have to play less. Although I play a lot, so like even on PlayStation I would be pred, but it just makes it a lot easier. Like, there are some combined like 1,000 kills. Like, I just took a complete break. Yet I still get pred in just a few games. It was really.
Okay, last question. I know that you like to cook food. What's your favorite food to cook?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, dude, I love cooking so much. I would say it's it's chicken soup for sure.
Chicken soup?
I love it.
Ooh, okay,
Yes,
interesting.
but not the American butter style. Like I don't know why Americans put butter in their soup. It's just the proper chicken soup where you just put water, you put an entire chicken, you just throw it in there, you throw every vegetable, everything in there, and then you just let it marinate, you let it cook, and then at the end you take everything out and slice it up and all that. Oh, dude, love it. It's actually my grandmother's style of doing it. It's like the Hungarian chicken soup. And next to that would be gulyás leves. It's the Hungarian. It's another Hungarian soup, but it's so good. I just love soups, dude. Soup is my
That's fair, honestly.
I just
Soup
love them. Dude.
slaps.
It's like a drink, but it's not. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be chicken soup. That's my favorite thing to make.
Yeah, I vibe that. And finally, here on its very normal 4-3 based settings, soup's good, but I don't know if I've ever seen someone love soup as much as Honored. Anyway, though, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go drop Honored a follow on all his socials that are on screen in the pinned comment and description below. Keep being awesome, keep being amazing. I hope the rank tips helped, and I hope you guys are enjoying Apex. Much love.